Hey everyone, Brad Thorpe from Isophit. Another episode of Isophit Q&A, question and answers. So today's question is, how does Isophit transfer to the sport of triathlon? Swim, bike, run. Now the interesting thing is, obviously you have your Olympic distances and then you have your Ironman distances. They're 100% different, but not so much, right? Because they require the circulation of blood, they require strength and stability, and injury prevention. That's where we kind of come in. So if you think about what's involved in the sport of triathlon, it's pretty much every muscle in your body for long durations. But one thing I want to drive home is every time you rotate a limb, be it your leg, your shoulder, your trunk, it anchors to an isometric-based contraction. And you think about that bike ride, if you're cycling, whether it's the short Olympic distance or the Ironman distance, you're trying to hold your body isometrically and cycle around that, right? You got your hips and your ankles and your knees moving, but ideally you're not flailing your arms and you're not coming out, like, so if I'm in my riding position, and I'm driving my legs, I'm not doing this with my upper body. So one of the interesting things, because your VO2 max is really important, right? If you're an athlete that focuses on triathlon. So they looked at high-level Olympic caliber cyclists, and they found that adding an isometric protocol increased their MVO2, or their VO2 max, sorry, I got confused there for a second, by 12%. After a couple weeks of training with isometrics. Who doesn't want a 12% increase in their performance? Anyways, what I want to show you though quickly is 3 different exercises. We're going to show you an exercise for cycling that you guys can do on the Isophit, right? So it's basically here, you're working on extension and basically knee extension, hip extension, and on the opposite side, you're working hip flexion. Now we can really change that, and we now pull this in, so you get the up phase of the cycle stroke and the down phase of the cycle stroke. Then we twist, and we do that on the other side. So we can do that. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to show you an exercise that most people would say, oh my God, what are you doing, right? I can do a flexed spine exercise. Now be cautious, because a lot of people get weirded out by this. Right? Because they say, oh, don't flex your spine and do anything ever. So, but you guys are cyclists. You guys cycle a lot as triathletes. So what I want you to do is flex forward and then learn how to pull up and into that crossbar. So we're learning how to strengthen our muscles in our lumbar and lower thoracic spine region from a flexed position. Remember, warning, like beaking, or blinking, I guess, instead of beaking, and coming back up. So that's one position. Then we're going to change that. And then we're going to raise our chest up. So we're getting a greater range of motion through your thoracic spine, which traditionally most people have a hard time training. So sitting up nice and tall. Now, because you guys swim a whole bunch in triathlon, what we're going to do is we're going to drop down and we're going to do some stuff for your shoulders and your swim strokes, right? So what I want you to do, reach forward. You're going to press down into the ground with your left arm, raise your right arm up, right, so you can work on that. You can change your arm position. So this arm here is kind of like doing a press, like you're reaching forward as you're pressing this left arm down. Body position you can rotate as well, so you can get that. So it's press arm down, pull your arm up first. Then the second sort of component of that is now pushing that forward into a shoulder press to help with that reaching, and pressing here to help with that extension component. Now, if we want to work on this part, the drag and pull the water through, well, it's really simple. All you have to do is turn around. Now, I'm going to bring that forward a little bit. And then you can bring that arm here, right? So you're going to get that arm down, so it's at that drag and pull. So you're training that as you're kind of pressing this arm down. So that's a couple different ways we can look at cycling and swimming, but we do have one more sport. We have running. So what I want you to do from a running perspective is just hip extension and internal hip rotation with your knee locked out. So just getting good at that, that's going to help with propulsion. Now, we're going to add one more layer to that. We're going to step forward a little bit. I'm going to bring that back, and I want you to press your foot into that to get the muscles of your foot involved. And that's kind of a couple exercises. I know I said we're going to give you 3, but we gave you 2 other variations as well. So those are 6 exercises you can do on the Isophit MSK to help improve your performance in triathlon. Anyways, you guys have a great weekend. It's Friday in Toronto. I will see you guys on Monday for the next Isophit Q&A.